Good morning to you. Today we will continue with the Constitution. Now we have seen the presidential powers of executive powers, legislative powers, diplomatic powers, military powers, ordinance making powers. Now we are coming to judicial powers, that is, pardoning power of the president. Article 72. Under this article, the President of India has powers to grant pardon, reprieve, respite, and remission of punishments, and also to suspend, remit, or commute the sentence of any person convicted of any offence on 3 counts. Number 1, with regard to court-martial. Number 2, any offence against any law on a matter to which executive power of the Union extends. That means on the subject on which Parliament is competent to make law, on all such subjects, if a punishment is imposed, President has the powers. Number 2. Number 3, in all cases of death sentences. Remember, 3 specific cases. One is court-martial and other is on subjects on which Parliament is competent to make law. 3, in all cases of death sentences. In these 3 specific counts, President has the powers of pardoning powers under Article 72 of the Constitution. Now, what is the purpose? Purpose is to confer judicial power on the President is to correct possible judicial errors. Possible judicial errors. The human being is not perfect. Naturally, any system evolved by him cannot be free from imperfection. Naturally, because here the point is, if the president also has advertently and inadvertently committed a mistake, then it is beyond reach. A person who has been given death sentence cannot be retrieved. So this power has been given to the president to rectify any judicial error that has crept into the system. That is the purpose. Remember, in pardoning power, now we have seen pardon, reprieve, etc. Then we are explaining how. What is the first one? First one is pardon. What do you mean by pardon? Pardon means the person is exonerated of all offences and also consequences of such penalty. He is placed as if he has not committed any offence at all. Remember, what is pardon? Pardon completely absolves the offender from all sentences, punishments, and disqualification, and places him in the same position as if he never committed any offence. This is the meaning of pardon. Remember, the first power which is given to the president. Second, what do you mean by commutation? Commutation means exchange of one punishment for the other. That is, only one below. Remember, only one below. Death sentence can be commuted to life sentence. Life sentence can be commuted to rigorous imprisonment. Rigorous imprisonment can be commuted to simple imprisonment. Simple imprisonment can be commuted to fine. In other words, it is only one below. It cannot be reduced other stages. So this is called commutation. Second is remission. Remission is, remember, it is a reduction of amount of sentence without changing the character. Remember, most important factor is without changing the character. For example, it's only an example. For theft, the penalty, the punishment given in Indian Penal Code is, let us say, 3 years. A person has been given 3 years imprisonment for having committed the offence of theft. Now, the president can remit without changing the character. That is, that rigorous imprisonment will remain. The 3 years can be reduced to 6 months. Remember, the quantum of penalty can be reduced from 3 years to 6 months without changing the character. The character should not be changed. Then comes what is known as respite. Respite is, here you change the character. That is, let us say for theft, the penalty is 3 years, rigorous imprisonment. Suppose a pregnant lady is caught for theft. So you cannot impose rigorous imprisonment on a pregnant lady. That is, the penalty has been imposed. She has come to the president for mercy petition, through mercy petition. Now, the President of India, having taken a compassionate view, gives respite. What is respite? Changing the character. Instead of 3 years rigorous imprisonment, she may be given 3 years simple imprisonment, no rigorous, or 1 year simple imprisonment. You can reduce the quantum also, you can change the character also. That is called respite. Then what is the fifth one? What is called this one? That is reprieve. Reprieve means temporary suspension of death sentence for further proceedings for pardon or commutation. So, these are all the powers which are exercised by President of India under Article 72 of the Constitution. Now, remember, the same powers are exercised by the governor under Article 161, but only with reference to the matters on which state legislature is competent to make law, or where the state executive powers extend. Remember, there is a lot of difference between the powers of the president and powers of the governor. That is under Article 72, under Article 161. What is the difference? Very briefly. See, firstly, the president has exclusive powers to grant pardon in all cases of death sentence. In all cases of death sentence, the president has the powers to grant pardon in all cases of death sentence. On the other hand, governor cannot grant pardon in the case of death sentence. He can only remit or commute. He cannot pardon. Number one. Number two. Secondly, the president can pardon punishment of sentences inflicted by court martial. That is, the court established by the armed forces. If the court martial has been given to someone, president has the power to exercise the powers given in remissions, respite, reprieve, etc. He has the powers. Whereas governor has no powers in respect of suspension or remission or commutation of sentence of death, and also in respect of what is known as court martial cases. Governor has no powers. So, two issues, the president enjoys full powers in the case of death sentence and in the case of court martial. Governor has no powers in the case of death sentences. He has no powers in the case of court martial also. This is the major difference between the powers under Article 72 and Article 161. This is second point. Third point you should remember. In another case, remember, perhaps you know, there is a Billa Ranga case. That is Kuljit Singh case, which is notoriously called Billa Ranga, where the two children have been very brutally murdered and their bodies thrown in the link road. That was the case. In these cases, they have been given death sentence, confirmed by the what is known as in the High Court, and petition appeal filed by him in the Supreme Court also rejected. Then he went to the President of India mercy petition. In the mercy petition, it was rejected without hearing, without giving any reason. It was rejected. Then they went on appeal to the Supreme Court against the decision of the president. Now, what the Supreme Court observed is the president should have given the reasons for his rejection. So they stayed, because it is not a mercy. They are exercising the powers, the rights given in the Constitution. So it is a constitutional right. So first of all, it cannot be called mercy petition, because the persons, condemned persons, howsoever they are brutal, and the condemned prisoners are also the right. So it is technically, it is not a mercy petition, it is a constitutional right. So it is the pardoning power which the president is exercising. So the principle of natural justice should be followed, and there should be, the state should have given some guidelines for disposing of the mercy petitions. So at a stretch, Supreme Court said all the death sentences were stayed. Subsequently, it was not a fit case to give such a mercy. So subsequently, the stay was vacated. All the persons who have been given death sentence have been executed. Then subsequently, the case came. Remember, one of the famous Kehar Singh versus Union of India, in which Mrs. Indira Gandhi was assassinated, and Kehar Singh was the security guard, and he was given a death sentence. His appeal was decided. He asked for a personal hearing from the president. President did not give any personal hearing, and because president acts on behalf of the Council of Ministers. So in his case, Supreme Court said certain things. Number one, no judicial review can be exercised. The decision of the President of India is beyond judicial review. Number one. Number two, the satisfaction of the President is the satisfaction of Council of Ministers. Number two. And based on the record available with the President, he can come to a different conclusion also. Number three. Number four, personal hearing cannot be demanded. There cannot be a right for personal hearing. These are all the guidelines they have given. So, third case. Fourth case, in one of the cases, I think Sher Singh case, Supreme Court said, in one case, a mercy petition was pending with the J&K governor for 8 years. In another case, Home Ministry did not take any action for 3 years. So, I think it is the Gajendra Khatkar. They felt, the Supreme Court under the Chief Justice, they observed it is very bad. It is inhuman. Because, it is a cruel to allow a person, having known that he is going to be hanged, and keeping him under suspense. So, as far as possible, all mercy petitions should be disposed of as quickly as possible. This was the decision given. So, but they said that it is the decision of the Supreme Court, decision of the President of India is beyond judicial review. That point they have made it very clear. But however, in the recent case, in Sudhagar versus Andhra Pradesh, perhaps you might have seen the newspaper. It is, of course, 2006. In this, the Supreme Court overruled its earlier decision and declared that the pardoning power of the governor and the president is subject to judicial review if the decision was taken on extraneous consideration. What is extraneous consideration? On political consideration or caste consideration. In this case, remember, in this Sudhagar case, what has happened is a Telugu Desam party worker was allegedly murdered by a Congress worker on political enmity. He was awarded death sentence by the trial court and confirmed by the High Court. His mercy petition was accepted by the governor, I think Sushil Kumar Shinde, and the death sentence was commuted as life sentence. And the murdered person's son went on appeal to the High Court. High Court quashed the decision of the governor, and the Andhra Pradesh government went on appeal to the Supreme Court, stating that the decision of the governor under Article 161 is beyond judicial review. However, Supreme Court upheld the decision of the High Court and stated that the pardoning power is exercised based on political consideration or religious consideration. So, it amounts to violation of constitution, and accordingly the court has every right to review the constitutionality of the decision. This was the recent decision of Supreme Court with regard to Article 72 of the Constitution. So today the position is it is subject to judicial review, and if any case is decided on the basis of political consideration or religious consideration or caste consideration, the decision can be nullified by the High Court or Supreme Court. This is the decision of the Supreme Court. Incidentally, the disposal of mercy petition has seen different attitude by different presidents. For example, Shankar Dayal Sharma disposed of all mercy petition religiously. K.R. Narayanan did not dispose of even a single mercy petition. And Dr. Abdul Kalam disposed of only one mercy petition, that too I think what is called the Dhananjay Chatterjee case he disposed of. And so there is no guideline. There is no guideline issued to the central government or the President of India to dispose of the mercy petition. In spite of Supreme Court calling up the union government for inordinate delay ranging from 6 years to 14 years, the government of India has not drawn up any guidelines for expeditious disposal of mercy petitions. So we have seen the judicial powers, which are pardoning power under Article 72, simultaneously the powers of the governor, Article 161, and we have so far seen the executive powers, legislative powers, ordinance making powers, military powers, army powers, judicial powers. We will deal with the emergency powers of the president in the next lecture. Thank you.